me see. We should have some checks and balances now. There we go. I hope y'all can hear us. Okay. We are back and we've been gone for a little while. It's been about what, 3 weeks?
About four.
About 4 weeks. Yeah, we had some stuff going on. But we are back. And um today we're gonna have a little conversation about desire. We want to talk about desire, and if I'm not talking about the desire, or we're not talking about the desire in the bedroom. We're talking about the desire to really, truly know your partner, the desire to pursue them, the desire to be curious. Because sometimes what happens is we think we already know the person. We may have been with them for a very long time, and sometimes we finish in each other words, and sometimes we think we may even know what that person is going to say. But I think one of the things we forget about is people change. Who you knew 20 years ago is not the same person that may be in front of you today. So we want to talk about, you know, at some point, when do you stop chasing and you just start coasting? I think we talk
Hmm.
about that sometimes where we, get into a routine, right? We're busy, we're working, we got all these things that we are involved in, and it just becomes this routine thing that we do. And in essence, it is coasting.
So, what exactly is coasting?
You when I say coasting, I mean like you're sharing a house, you're sharing a bed, you're sharing life, but you're not sharing yourselves anymore. You're not really being curious about what maybe aspirations that you all may have had. You're not really thinking and talking about those things. You're just going with the flow. You're just coasting along. It's just like when you're on cruise control. You at a certain speed, you're comfortable. You want to kind of lay back, relax, and just let the car coast by itself. You don't have to have any interaction. That makes sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Coasting along.
Coasting along.
Wow. Well, I'm sure many people have that story of coasting, but we're here to talk about some different things. Coasting and what else you said now? The
The
coasting and the
desire.
desire. Desire. So coasting to me is it can mean a few things. It can mean that you've become complacent where you are. You don't move from that moment, like you said.
Yeah.
You get stuck in a certain place
Mm.
at a certain time, a certain speed, and you just let things go as they go. Let them
Mm-hmm.
be as they are. Not trying to change anything, not trying to add anything. You just wherever you are, you are. So I think sometimes we don't even realize we're in that place.
Mm.
Sometimes it's just day to day, and that's what we get used to
Yeah.
without even realizing it.
Can you all hear us okay? I want to make sure we're getting a mic check. I see someone on YouTube. Can you hear us okay? If you can hear us okay, just put in the chat that you can hear us. I want to just make sure everything's going okay. It's been a little minute. Um, I think sometimes what also happens is you stop dating and you start managing. Um, so if I was to talk about us, and I've heard other couples say this too, and what we see across the board, at some point our relationship shifts because we've been together for so long. Like we just expect that, he ain't going nowhere. I got him. I know all about him, and it goes from pursuit to project management. And what I mean by that is we coordinate schedules. We may be dividing the tasks. We handling the logistics of life, right? Who back let's think about when we were raising our children. who's picking up the kids, who's taking the child to daycare, or who's taking Akeem to football practice, who's taking Aaliyah to soccer. We all had all these things going on. So it was probably more known in when we had our children and we were so busy trying to figure out what we was going to do, pay bills, what time is that dinner on Saturday. So it's more about those questions and technical things versus really being in the relationship.
Busy and distracted.
Busy and distracted. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a common way to lose focus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we get so used to relying on one another to do our part. And so how do you recognize when you're in that place of coasting? What does it look like? What does it feel like?
You know, that's the sneaky part, because it comes with that word we use, the familiarity. We get so familiar with the person that then looks and feels like intimacy. It looks and feels like we good. So you think you know everything about me. You've been with me, you know me 30 years. Do you know everything about me?
Of course not.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It's been 30 years.
Yeah.
That means you're 30 years older.
That's true.
You've been through some things. You've learned some things. You've experienced some things. You've taken on some things. You got rid of some things.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff has changed. So the career
Mm-hmm.
has grown.
Yeah.
Done so many different things since the time. So we have to keep track of one another.
Yeah.
We can't get to that place where we just get so comfortable we think we know, but we don't take time to tap in and tune in to really see who's in front of us and to understand who we're looking at.
Well, I like that you said that, because and I know y'all see me like around a little bit. I'm sorry. Hold on a minute. Y'all, sorry. I think what happens is we get very comfortable and familiar, and we don't really see our partner evolving. And I love that you said, well, you're always doing something. You're always doing, whatever I got going on. It's always something. Every year I challenge myself to do something different so I can always grow. And I think that's important, where we just don't assume that we know, but having that desire. When you think about having a desire, what does that mean to you?
Desire is a strong emotion to attain, to accomplish. To attain, to accomplish, but it's a conscious decision, though.
Yeah.
It's a decision to allow yourself to dive into those emotions. Really wanting something.
Yeah.
Really wanting to know it, to learn it.
Yeah.
And to experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it would be just a strong emotion for something that means something to you, something may catch your attention, something that may just be intrigue your curiosity to know what it would be like.
Yeah.
To experience whatever it is you desire.
So I love that you say that, because what you're saying in essence is you still curious about me, you still wanting to learn me, right? And I think that's important, because when we stop being curious about each other, we think we know everything, and you go onto this coasting and we're not connecting. It's like that desire it's like the light goes out. That desire for your partner goes out. And I think about this. So I ask you a question. Do you still think I'm curious about you?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say sometimes.
Why do you say sometimes?
I mean, because you have your own things going on. Sometimes you can get a little consumed to
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing, and you get focused, and you tune in to the point where you just got to get this done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I got to finish this part. I'm doing this part tomorrow. So you're planning at the same time, and you have a desire to finish what you start.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that you said that too, because again, that's calling in like some of the things that can happen as well, where you get so consumed in how you're evolving that you don't stop and pause and check on your partner and make sure um, that desire is still there, that fire is still there. So, yeah.
Yeah. So what about you?
Um, I think yes and no. I think it's where we are now. I think we have gotten to a space where we're empty nesters, and sometimes, you know, how I'll put this in my the way I look at it, and then you can just bounce it off of how you feel, because I don't want to talk for you, but now that I'm an empty nester and spend all the time with, you know, raising children, and everybody else came first. It's like sometimes I feel like it's my time. It's my time to evolve and do what I've been wanting to do that's been lying dormant. And sometimes it's like, yeah, I just want to do me. So I can see that sometimes. And I have to remind myself that I'm not in this by myself, that I need to pause and, you know, take a break and make sure I'm making room. And the word of the year is balance. Balance. Making sure I'm balancing both, you know, what I'm doing and what I aspire to do and how I'm growing and evolving, but I'm also leaning in to make sure I'm taking care of family. So,
So something you said, you used the word dormant,
mm-hmm.
and you spoke of experiencing that.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel to have a dormant desire?
Ooh, feel trapped. Feel like, and I would say it would be like, so just say you're like this bird, this exotic bird. I'm an exotic bird. And your habitat is to be out doing stuff, flying around and seeing all the stuff that's available to you, because you're so curious and you want this freedom to be able to just go and fly. But you've been, I ain't gonna say captured, but for lack of a better word, you have maybe something happened, and now you're this bird where you have a home, but your home feels like you in this cage. You feel stuck. You feel like, I want to do this, but I can't do it because of the responsibilities I have. So it's sacrifice. You sacrifice what it is that you aspire to do until you can do it. But you also have to prioritize, especially when you have family, and you have responsibility. Sometimes you have to sacrifice whatever that is. You can do it in snippets or whatever, but for me, I'm just gonna talk for me because this is what I did. I just was like, I'm gonna leave that and just, you know, focus on my family, because I think what I experienced was I was doing that, but my work took precedent, and I almost lost the family. So I had to make a choice, because when I do something, I go all in. It's all or nothing. So I do. It's all or nothing. So if I want to work, I'm going to give it about all. And I had to learn how to balance and put some things that I want to do on the back burner to say, you know what, I'm going to prioritize my family, and I'm going to make sure they have what they need. And then, but now it's like I have the freedom to do it. And it's a beautiful thing.
Thank you for breaking that down. Just when you said dormant, I'm like,
Yeah.
that must feel like some type of pressure to hold that in to a certain point where you want to release something, but you know you have to put it on hold because of where you are in that moment in your life.
You know what I wish I would have done differently, though? I may have not been able to execute those things fully, but I wish I would have mapped out some of the things that I desire to do. Like, so I'm not able to go out there and maybe do speaking engagements and do X, Y, and Z, but I can, the time that I have, can I carve out some time to give myself an hour to work on the content for that speaking engagement? Or can I write, if I'm writing a book, can I spend an hour or 30 minutes writing pieces of that book? So when it is time, I already have the resources. I already have the information. I can just go out and just put it out there. I waited and put everything dormant, didn't do nothing, just sat on it. And then now it's like, now I got to do all of it. So I wish I would have done bits and pieces and committed some time to it versus not committing any time.
Okay. I see we have a
Michiko.
Michiko.
Hey,
How you
beautiful.
doing?
She said
Welcome.
she's listening between calls. And we do have somebody on YouTube, but I'm
Now,
not sure
do we
who it
have?
is.
What do we have on YouTube? What's your name?
If you can put in the chat your name, we'd love to
We'd love-
recognize you.
Yes.
But yeah, so I think about desire, and it's something I wrote down was, if you think about your prayer life, you don't always feel like praying, but you do it because you know the relationship requires it. Our relationship with God requires prayer, right? Marriage is the same way, or relationship with if you're in a relationship with someone, it's the same way. You pursue, not because the butterflies show up in the morning, but because that person is worth the effort. They're worth the effort, even when that effort don't come easy, and it's not always easy.
That's why we pray.
Exactly.
It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be mindful. We have to be conscious to choose.
Yeah.
And we have to choose every day.
Yeah.
So when you think about choices, what keeps you mindful to choose the right thing for you every day?
My why.
Your why.
My why keeps me mindful of it every day.
Okay.
And there's sometimes I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel like it. I'm be like, I don't want to do this. Life be getting heavy, get demanding, and it's the last thing I want to do. But then I'm reminded of, why are you doing this? What's your purpose? And if you, and I'll say this, and again, my beliefs. If you have been given an assignment, and I've run away from my assignment for many years, but once you know fully your purpose and you start operating in your purpose, even when you don't feel like it, you have to do it. Otherwise, it's like, I feel like you being disobedient, because God gave you something. He gave you a talent. He gave you gifts. He gave you all these wonderful, great things. And a lot of people sit on those things. And I feel like it's like God gave you this piece of something that's so great, but because of, I don't feel like it, or maybe it'll be one excuse or another. I do think everything that when you say can't is just an excuse, because we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, and I know that. So just saying, it's disobedient if you have a purpose, you know your purpose, and you're not doing your purpose. And I understand when things are rough and it's heavy and all that stuff, but just don't put it all away, is what I'll say. Don't do nothing. Do something.
Do something.
Do something.
Okay. Comment.
Oh, Michiko, I'm glad I got that before you two. You got 2 seasons. I was like that, all or nothing, perfection. You know what? And I had to learn, good is good enough. Like, I am not trying to be perfect. And there's some things, because you will drive yourself crazy trying to be perfect all the time. Everything, and you won't do nothing, because you got to have everything in order. You got to have everything got to be right.
What are you talking about?
It's hitting, ain't it? But here's the thing: it's never gonna be perfect, because we don't live in a perfect world, and none of us are perfect. So even if you try your best to make it perfect, guess what? Something's gonna come in and mess up your whole plan. But you still got to move forward. And what I've realized is that most times you know what that thing is, but everybody else may not even know that you made a mistake. Everybody else don't got the blueprint. You got the blueprint. You know the ins and outs of what you supposed to do. So what if you don't do one piece of it? Who knows? It's your stuff. They don't know that you took that out. They don't know that you messed up that word and you forgot half the darn speech. And I say that because, and sometimes I will forget something, but I forget it because sometimes you're so in a zone that you have to leave space for Holy Spirit enter and allow him to have his way. So something I'd be like, dang, I wanted to say XYZ. They didn't even know I didn't say that. And it's okay. It's okay not to be perfect. It's okay if it mess up. It's okay. Get up and try it again. So what part just snatched you up?
Pretty much all or nothing. Everything in place. Oh, yeah. Everything has to be in order for you to be executed. And that's my issue.
So how long does something have to wait then?
That's a good question.
It is.
It's a good question. How long?
Because sometimes, because of your perfectionism, it's a year, it's 2 years, it's 3 years, it's 4 years, it's 5 years.
Okay, we get it.
Okay. And you still haven't executed on it because you don't have this perfect plan. In the meantime, you got people out there that are waiting, people who have a desire to hear what you got to say, and you ain't doing it because
it's not perfect.
It's not perfect.
Wow. Okay.
Woo! I don't know who is on YouTube. Somebody on there listening. Thank you for listening. How about, let's think about, and I talk about this sometimes, the things that we used to do when we first started. We used to have so much fun. Oh my goodness. We used to have so much fun. Why do we, and I don't know if this happens in other relationships, but why do we allow life to let everything that connected us together die? It just goes away. Oh, you know what? I got him now. I ain't got to do nothing. I'm good. I know him.
Well, it could come from the word desire, which means you're chasing something. You want something. You're pursuing it. You're going after it. And once the chase is over, sometimes
the chase should never be over.
Well, from what you just said, it sounds like it's over.
It is to some people.
Yeah, and you get complacent and comfortable because you feel like you have them.
Yeah.
And you got what you wanted, you got who you wanted, and now you're just trying to focus on to make it how you want it.
Yeah. But I think sometimes we have to pause and really sit back and send a random text in the middle of the day. Not what you need from the store, not what you want to eat today, but you know what? I was just thinking about you, and I just wanted you to know, I love you. Or, the way we used to get dressed for each other. Now I'm always gonna get dressed. Now I'm always gonna get dressed. I'm always gonna smell good. So I'm never gonna be stank. But there's some things that, inside jokes. We used to talk about that. We used to have so much. We used to laugh until our stomachs cramped. Like, what happens to those times where you just go back to not having so many, I don't know, like not expectations, but it seems like what you said, you chased, you caught it. Now you're trying to figure out how you what you say?
I think we focus so much on how to make it how we want it.
Make it how we want it.
And we focus so much on the differences at that point.
Break that down a little bit.
So sometimes when you desire something and you in that chase mode, there's expectations while you're chasing.
Mm,
Because you already have this idea
mm,
of what you want a relationship to be,
yeah.
how you want to be treated,
Mm,
how you want to be pursued, um, what you feel they should do for you, how you feel they should talk to you, or whatever it may be. But then when the chase is over and you get what you want, well, I'll say who you want, not particularly what you want,
mm,
because sometimes they don't match.
mm,
So now you spend this time trying to build and reconstruct
mm,
to a place where now you're comfortable
yeah.
in the decision that you've made to pursue. You got who you wanted. Now you try to make it what you want.
Mm,
And sometimes it comes with acknowledging the differences,
mm-hmm.
and they don't line up sometimes with what your desires were in the chase. Because while you're chasing, you're not really getting to know the person
True.
like you really want
Yeah.
to. And that's the
Mhm.
purpose of it. You have a desire
Yeah.
to know them, to experience life with them in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's right, Michiko. It should never be over. The chase is always on. But yeah.
yeah, so I think we spend a lot of time focusing on differences and how we can come together to mutual agreements. Um, Sometimes somebody has or will compromise.
Mm,
Um, it causes one person maybe to even shut down
yeah.
because of the expectation that they didn't expect.
True.
So there's many levels to pursuing and then getting who you want.
Mm,
Now the relationship starts.
yeah.
Now you have to see me for who I am. And sometimes it's not as clean cut as you thought it would be.
That's true.
So,
That's true. That's true. I think sometimes that happens where when people are dating or getting to know each other, they want to make an impression. And sometimes they don't allow whole person, real person to show up until they capture or catch the desire. And then they're like, oh, well, here you go. Like, for instance, one thing someone says, once you get married, you stop doing stuff, you stop dressing up, you stop doing your hair, you stop doing all this stuff. You're like, I got him now. So I ain't got to do all that. No, you need to do that. You get them that hair done, stay in shape, smell good. Always have that desire burning. And there's a part in what I kind of did a research on. Oh Lord, this one kicked my butt because it said your phone get more attention than your partner.
this thing right here.
Woo! I can't even find my phone right now.
See how I'm putting this between us? That's what happens. It's right between us. And sometimes we have to put it down so that space is being occupied by that phone. We can get closer together.
Listen, this is what it said, y'all. I'm going to read it verbatim. Some of us are more engaged in our phones than we are in the person sleeping next to us.
Amen.
You'll stroll for an hour without blinking. Mm-hmm. You'll double tap a stranger's post. Mm-hmm. You'll watch somebody else's vacation reel, someone else's relationship highlight. Oh, someone else's life, and you give it your full attention. Mm-hmm. But when your spouse, your mate, your partner walk into the room, you don't even look up.
Say that part again.
What part?
When your spouse,
your mate, your partner walk in the room, you don't even look up. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not calling you out loud. I'm calling me out because I am so guilty. I get so consumed in, posting, content creating, all this other stuff that I am guilty of this. And I was like, ooh, this is hurting a little bit. Hey, Tanya and Tanika. Yes,
Hey,
yes,
sis. Hey,
yes.
Tanika. Welcome back.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. I got to go back to this before we go back to this phone.
Okay.
Tanika said they introduce their representative. That's what they do. They don't show who they are. They got a representative. Talk about it. Woo.
Oh man, when I wow.
Wow. Yeah.
I thought about some Christians when you said that. I don't know why that came to me, but yeah. Wow, you got me stuck on this one.
Ooh,
Okay,
wow.
well, so
Okay,
the
moving forward.
representative.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's a lot to that. They want to impress. They want to be cunning.
Mm.
They want to appear to be what you think they should be and how you think they really should be. So they play into your emotions, into your expectations, because what you expect is what I'm going to give you until I get you.
Yeah.
And then it's like that Jack in the Box. Keep turning the wheel, and the real person pops out, and it surprises you sometimes. Like, whoa, where'd you come from?
Yeah,
this is not the person I met.
right.
It's not the person that I thought you were. But you can only do that for so long until the true heart shows, the true emotion shows, the true feelings come out.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, people just can't be or choose not to be honest about who they are and where they are in life. So you can choose if that's the person for you.
I'm gonna go back to this phone because it said, and we all know, if y'all don't know by now, this phone is designed to keep your attention. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the heck it is called. Let me tell you, the people that create this stuff, their kids don't be on it. They don't have their kids looking none of this stuff. They have them doing totally different stuff. But this is to capture our attention and to reel us in. But your partner, they are not going to compete with the screen. Andre does not compete with my screen. He just finds something to do. But it's like, this really is checking me because it's like they're going to stop trying. They walk in the room, they trying to get your attention. They're going to stop trying. And when they stop trying to get your attention, there's no peace. That's distance. So you distancing yourself, and distance in a marriage is dangerous because it don't happen overnight. It happens one ignored moment at a time. I'm going to say that again.
Please do.
When they stop trying to get your attention, that is not peace. That's distance. And distance in a marriage is dangerous because it does not happen overnight. It happens one ignored moment at a time. Those things start adding up. And it could be like this much of a distance. And then it keeps happening. And before you know it,
there goes the desire.
There goes the desire. You said something earlier about when we married or if you got your partner, you feel like the chase over. And I just want to reiterate, if you did not hear me, the chase is not over.
Okay.
It's an everyday thing over here.
Well,
I just want you to know.
Well, chase me.
It's supposed to be the opposite. It's talking about chase you. But I do want to chase you too, for real. But we
have to be mindful.
Yeah, you have to, because here's the thing. You said people do this. The chase is over. You caught them. You locked it down, and now you're thinking, I'm good. I can relax.
But you mentioned cruise control earlier, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
But I want, if you're in a relationship, whether you're married or you're committed in a committed relationship, commitment says, I'm here. Commitment says, I'm here and I still choose you every day. It does not mean I'm finna give up and I'm just finna go on cruise control and just coast along, not try anymore, not get to know you, not want to be curious about what you got going on, and get into this routine cycle of this mundane day in, day out, not really, really connecting.
Well, I mean, there's two stages in relationships, not the only two that you can be in, but you can become complacent or you can remain current. And you become complacent, you lose focus, and that desire is not being fueled because you settle for the way things are.
Yeah.
You don't want to try any harder than what you've been trying. You don't want to give any more than what you've been given. So you become complacent, and then you become routine, and routine turns into feeling like roommates.
Yeah.
And then you start feeling like roommates. That's where the distance and separation come in. Because you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing. You got your end of the house, I got my end of the house. We come together in moments of just coming together to eat dinner. If we do that, go to a movie. What do you want to eat this weekend? And go out to eat. We choose little moments to what we call connecting. But it's not really connecting. I think it's more like a pacifier to let you know I'm still here. But what does it really mean?
Yeah.
We have a comment.
Yeah, Michigo says, but when you recognize it and openly acknowledge it as you did, is genuine love. But to not, you look up and he or she is gone and you become alone. Absolutely.
That's what happens.
Absolutely. So we talked about, the desire, right? I wrote down, okay, hold on. Hold on. We got something from Akeem in YouTube. He said, y'all might have touched on this already, but do you feel like you lose that spark sometimes, especially when y'all been together for as many years? And you all, hold on one second. Let me see what the rest of his comment says. And you all, what's the rest of your comment, sir? I only got in you all. Write the rest of what you want to say. First of all, our spark ain't never gone. Understand that. I gotta keep this. We gotta keep the spark on all day, every day. And what that spark is we about to talk about it. What does reigniting desire actually look like? Right. So I wrote some things down because we never want to leave a conversation with not giving you some things to incorporate. So reigniting desire doesn't mean, oh, we're gonna go on a vacation and we're gonna take some time, because if I'm on my phone at home, trust and believe, whether we go on vacation, I'm gonna be on my phone at vacation. You take you wherever you go. You have to make some drastic changes, and what that means is, start small. It can start with asking a question you haven't asked in a while, like, "What are you dreaming about right now?" Or what's something that you need from me that you haven't asked or you haven't said? What's one thing that will make you feel pursued this week? It's like, I got a couple other things. I'm gonna turn it over to you. It looks like putting your phone in another room. I'm gonna do that. Put your phone in another room for 30 minutes to an hour and just be present. Just sit and be present. Not watching TV together. Maybe you just sit and have a conversation. Actually sit with your person and be in that moment with them. I've saw some things, and we've tried a couple of things with just some, and they have these relationship things where it's just you and your mate. And there's a lot of people that be in it, but in that moment they have you connected with your mate, and that's all it is. It's just you and that person. And sometimes you got to do stuff like that, stuff that ain't like going out to eat, but stuff that's really connecting the heart, right? It looks like complimenting your spouse, not like you look good. No, I noticed the way you handled that situation today. You know what? I remember why I married you. Oh, yes. Thank you for taking care of that. So it's really like, again, having a desire, but putting that desire in action.
Well, we have to keep putting fuel on the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, some of that fuel is compliments.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's being attentive. Some of it's allowing your mate to feel like their priority.
Mm.
So when you go back to the phone thing, if somebody walks in the room and they start speaking to you, and you just kind of like scrolling and halfway looking up like that mean math teacher, your eyes halfway down and halfway up,
Mm.
they looking like,
Mm.
trying to talk to you, but you seem to be too busy and preoccupied. So I'll let those people out there have your attention for right now. I'll be back later.
Or not.
Or not. And then when you come back later, if you choose to do so, now it's something else. Like, okay. So you get to a point sometimes where it's like, I'll wait. Or you feel like, I'll wait my turn.
Mm.
Or I'll just wait till you feel I'm important enough to hear or to see.
Mm.
Because you know those people.
Mm.
But I'm right here.
Mm.
But they're more important to you.
Mm. I need you to get your foot at my back, sir.
I'm just speaking what needs to be spoken. Whoever it applies to, please take it and apply it to your life and your relationship.
I'm gonna do better. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna do better.
So we just have to be mindful of how important each day is to us that we're given together, healthy, in our right minds, been blessed with a home, jobs, everything, all the necessities of life. Everything is in place for us, but us. So how do we pray for things, we expect things, we want things, we speak things, but we can't be in place to receive them from the very person we said we want them from.
Yeah.
So if you don't give me the space and time to do it or to acknowledge you in a certain way, not until you break away from what was more important at that moment. Now you're expecting me to tune in and tap in. Now I don't feel like priority. Now I don't feel like you value what you say you want and desire.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful about how we treat what we have and who we have to make it feel like it's valued and it's meaningful.
Yeah. I want to I don't know if we answered Keem's question, so okay. I want to ask it again. Y'all might have touched on this already. Do you feel like you lose that spark sometimes, especially when you've been together as many years as you all? So yes, we've been together for 30 plus years. I can't say that has happened in peaks of our relationship during the times, right? Because you do get inundated with a lot of stuff. But you have it when a relationship is worth it and you both want it, you got to put the effort in to regain that desire. And I think that's what we continue to do. We're aware, so we recognize, and because we do podcasts now, sometimes the stuff come up and we're like, "Ooh, I just got beat down." Because here's the thing, it comes to us and we're like, "Oh wow, I got some things to work on," and it helps us to really understand some things that we need to shift and change and be mindful of as it relates to the partnership, the connection, and the relationship. That's very important. Ashley said, life goes by so fast. I don't think people realize time is limited. Spending time with ones we love is critical. The phone will always be there. Absolutely, Ashley.
Amen.
And that's very true. And I think for me, again, this one kicked my butt a lot because I have my phone tied to my hip, and I really realized that I need to put the phone down. I need to separate. My business gonna be there. It is what it is. I need to take time for my family. So I thank you for that, Ashley. There's nothing more important than people you love. And as you were talking about, you don't even know them people. How much time? And I want to invite the audience in. How much? Because we all spend time on the phone. how much time do we spend on that phone? Well, we can be doing other things. We can be doing things that are purposeful. I know, like on a Saturday, sometimes I'm like, I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. But I want to get up and I want to do. I have two things I wanted to do. But I find myself on this phone, and I'm like, I didn't get on this phone. And I'm laughing at this and I'm laughing at that. And again, that's what this was built for. This phone was built to grab your attention and take you away, distract you from what you were supposed to do. And it does a really darn good job. Social media takes us away from a lot of things that we should be doing. It takes but here's the thing. It can't take nothing that you don't give it. Time is yours. However you spend it is yours. Whatever choice you make is yours. We decide how long we're going to be on this phone. We can close it up and say, I'm going to put this phone down. We choose to do the opposite. So when people tell me they ain't got time, yes, you do. Tell me you can't, yes, you do. Because if you got time to be on this phone for the hours you've been on this phone, you got time to do what you need to do. So I thank you for saying what you said. And I thank you even for this lesson, because there are so many things that come as distractions to take us away from prioritizing our family, prioritizing God, prioritizing the things that truly, truly matter. And I'm going to pursue you, sir.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
Well, when you were speaking about the phone, the hours, your desire has shifted.
Yes.
You now desire to be entertained by whatever comes up on that phone. The real, somebody else's life, somebody else's story, somebody else's structure as they present it to you, whether it's real or not.
Right.
Whatever it may be, there's a desire. It's just shifted from your partner or what's important to everything else out there that has nothing to do with your life and your home. Once you hang up that phone or get off that phone, you have to come back to reality. But sometimes the reality hits you in the face differently, because now that person is no longer the same, or feels the same, or desires the same.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they feel dismissed.
Yeah.
Sometimes they feel replaced. Sometimes they feel put on hold, like a call. You ever been on a phone call and somebody calls you, and the person say, "Hold on," and they have you on hold forever.
I ain't even gonna be on that long. You got like literally 60 seconds to get back on with me. I'm hanging
and
up.
It's like, I've been holding on for a long time, but you want to finish the conversation.
Call me back.
But that person has chosen to talk to the other person as if you're not there. As if you're not holding on. As if it doesn't matter that they were talking to you.
Yeah.
So sometimes we put things on hold, and sometimes it creates that distance you were talking about. People stop calling. Or you say, hold on, they just hang up right away because they know your pattern. They just go find something else to do, or they just say, hey, they'll call me back when they have time. And that's how it is in relationships sometimes. We'll connect when they have time, or not.
But what does that feel like on the opposite side of, okay, the part where what does that feel like to not be a priority?
It all depends on the setup. It depends on if that person wants to be a priority, but they're not prioritizing you. So you feel like it's unequal. You feel like it's a expectation that's not reciprocated. So a lot of times in a relationship, we want something, but we're not willing to give what we want.
Yeah.
But we expect someone to treat us a certain way, but we're not giving it in the way we want it.
Yeah.
But then when somebody says something, it's an excuse, or we deflect, or we get an attitude, or we have a good reason why. But in the midst of it all, every day we wake up, we're blessed to get up and be in our right minds. We make conscious choices of what we're going to do and how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
So for me, there's no excuse as to why we do it, because we know what we're doing and we know why we're doing it. And most of the time, it's because we want to, because we choose to.
Yeah.
This is how I want to spend my time. I'm chilling right now, so I'll be out in a minute. Or I just want to relax and chill on my phone and laugh instead of spending that laughter with your partner.
Ashley says, giving out more than you're giving seems like you care more than they do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And here's the thing. I'll say this. It's exhausting to care more about somebody or spending time with somebody more than they do. And what I've learned is from Mr. Tucker, he's not looking for perfection. He's not looking for me to have it all figured out. And I'm saying this in our relationship, but think about your relationship as well. Your partner doesn't need perfection. They don't need you to have it all figured out. They just want to be wanted. They just don't want to be penciled in. You said this like, yeah, I'm chilling right now. I'm gonna pencil you in. I'm gonna schedule you. I'm gonna put you on my calendar when I got some time for you. Not because it's a date night, not because the podcast told you to. Don't be going out there talking about the podcast told me. No. They need you to feel like you would still pick them out of a room full of options. Will you pick me out of a room full of options?
Of course.
Okay, now you better say that. So desire isn't something you lose. It's something you said you stopped choosing. We have an option every single day to choose what we will do and what we don't do. And the beautiful thing with that is I may not choose today, but I can have another opportunity, I hope, to choose again tomorrow. But today we say, if you haven't been choosing to pursue or desire your partner, your mate, who you're in a relationship with, we ask that you start today finding out what that is. Ask the questions that you haven't asked. If it's worth pursuing, then pursue it. Make time for it. If they're worth choosing, then make space for them.
So I would say revisit your why. And when you go back to your why, ask yourself, does it still mean the same thing to you?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll have a why. It'll still be in your heart, but it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
Because of distractions, because of the stress and strain of relationships, trying to coexist, trying to get to know people, trying to get people to understand you. It's just so many variables in relationships. And things can get emotional. They can be distracting. They can be discouraging.
Yeah.
A lot of people can make you feel like you're not worth it because they can't seem to understand you or accept you where you are and how you are. They always want something different. They're always voicing what you're not doing, how you're not doing this, what you need to do. It's always something. But sometimes people just want you to see them, accept them.
Yeah.
Give me a hug instead of fussing.
Yeah.
Change your energy sometimes so people can know that you're still connected or you still want to be connected.
Yeah.
And that way they can be reassured that it's worth the fight. It's worth it every day to wake up and keep going. But when you hear that same voice or you feel that same energy that says to you in your heart, I'm not enough. They want me to do this. They always say I don't do this. If it's always a negative feeling or a nagging feeling in your heart that this person doesn't see you the way they used to, like they want more than that you can give right now, they're not giving you time to grow. Or they might even be supporting you in the way you need to be supported. Whatever it may be in your home and your relationship, just take the time to think about how that person might feel or might be feeling and talk about it. Put the phone down, take time to talk. So that hour you're going to spend on the phone later, spend that hour writing stuff down.
Yeah.
Spend that hour thinking and reflecting
Mhm.
about what's important to you. Unless the
Mhm.
phone is more important. You make the choice. It's your
Yeah.
choice to make.
Mhm.
You know, if you want to see other people's lives and reels and you want to laugh at the comedians on there, whatever you laugh at or look at, if that's more important, that's what you choose. But the choice is yours. But what you've chosen in the beginning might not always be a choice.
Mm. Mm. Wow. Wow. I think you said something when you were talking about how someone how they may be, right? Sometimes people are not ready. And I'm not talking about, well, even in marriages, sometimes they're not ready, but I want to preference this for relationships. Sometimes people are just not ready and they don't have the capacity to give you what you need. They may have thought, and initially when they were pursuing you, it was good and everything was great, and then something happened, and maybe life happened. Maybe because what I'm learning is sometimes when we jump in relationships, sometimes we don't think about what we carry into a relationship.
Hmm.
And when you in the midst of that relationship, that's that baggage, that invisible baggage that you were carrying, but it didn't show up initially because you were having fun. You're doing all this stuff and it felt good and blah blah blah.
Hmm.
But then that baggage comes back that you haven't addressed, that you haven't taken care of. It comes up, and then you start really seeing the person, but and it's not the person that you met, not the person you connected with, but it's somebody totally different. But it's because they're carrying this invisible baggage that you can't see, and they need to get some help and some healing from it so that they can be who they need to be. But in that moment, they may not have the capacity to really be who you need them to be. And sometimes what that looks like is they need some space. So the best thing, if that is something, and I'm going into a different topic and we'll talk about this later on, but if that's something that you experience, when people give you insight that they're not ready for something or they don't have capacity to handle something and they may need some space, honor that space. It may not be what you want. You may feel like you can push and you can help them and you can get them through it, but you're not God. And sometimes we will have a God complex. Like we can change it. We can change the situation. We can change the circumstance. Sometimes we have to back up and allow God to do what he needs to do in that person so that they can work on themselves and be the person that you were pursuing. Because maybe they'll come back. You never know. I'm going to let you close it out. But
Um, Something you were saying before you spoke about space.
mm,
Sometimes redirect how you see that person.
mm,
They might just need your help. They might just need you to assure them that they can do it. But ask yourself, how can I support you in this season that you might feel stuck, that you might feel unsure, uncertain, even unworthy? So change the expectation to how can I help? How can I assist? And at least you've made an effort to try to see them through it. But at that point, if there's nothing you can do, then you know you've tried and that person's just not ready at the moment.
yeah,
But at least see how you can help if you can. Because sometimes, what better help is there than from your mate
yeah,
to support you, to show that they still love you and they're concerned about you and they see you and they want to see you win. They want to see you succeed. And they can stand by you and with you through this season that may be hard for you.
yeah.
So see how you can help first.
And that's always going to be the first thing, right? The help first. But also, sometimes that help is exhausting to the person that is experiencing on that other end. So you got to do what's best for you. And again, we can help all day long, but I always say that there's only so much you can do, but he can do all things. Sometimes we got to get out his way and let him do work in that person, and we move out the way, and maybe it'll come back, maybe it won't. But at least you know you did what you needed to do, and to Andre's point, you've helped that person out. So it might be reverse help. But then when if you realize that they don't have the capacity to give you what you need at that time because they're broken, then give them that space, honor that space, and allow them to get fixed so that they can be the best person that they can
sometimes you
be.
have to.
It takes balance. Absolutely.
That's the word.
It takes balance.
That's the word of the year.
It really does, because you can't give all of yourself. It's exhausting to help someone else when they're not moving the needle, when they're not trying, when they really need something bigger than you.
And sometimes take a season to plant the seed and let it breathe.
Come on.
Sometimes we're overbearing. Sometimes we're putting too much on it because we planted it. And we want the results. We want it to go how we want it to go. We're forcing the process or trying to push the process. Plant the seed and let it breathe.
Plant the seed and let it breathe. Y'all, that's the plant the seed and let it breathe.
And the watering will take place. The growth will take place. The root will take place. But be patient. Let it breathe for a minute.
Yeah. Well, we're at an hour. We've seen some comments out here. Thank you all so much for joining us. Today we are at hour, over 2 minutes over, but we thank you for joining us today. We thank you for being a part of the conversation. I saw your comments come up and I've been putting them on the screen as you talked through it. So I thank you. And we do not take this time for granted that you take your time to come and sit with us and connect with us. So we love you so much. And we will be back in 2 weeks 2 weeks from Thursday. So it'll be, I don't know, the end of, it will be the end of the last week of the 30th. Yep, it'll be 30th of April. 30th of April. We'll be back and we will all talk to you then. Here you go, Michiko. Plant the seed and let it breathe. Yes, that's gonna be on a shirt.
So in closing, be in prayer for us and our family as we travel for a funeral this weekend. Traveling grace to all of our family who will be traveling, and peace and strength to all of you that will be attending this weekend in Kankakee, Illinois. So we thank you. We love you. God bless you. Until we meet again. Thank you for tuning in.
When words were hard to find, we never gave up on love. No, 'cause you made a promise you'll always be.